Strong. Myself Maheshwari Krishna Kumar, Assistant Professor Dr. SMS College of Education, Coimbatore. Today in this psychology practical class, we will do an activity of memory and recall. What does mean by memory? It is nothing but storing information in our brain, isn't it? What does mean by recalling? Retrieving the information what we stored in our memory, isn't it? And then there are two forms of memory mostly, that is long-term memory and short-term memory. Short-term memory. Now we are going to do an activity related to short-term memory in the form of a storytelling. Okay. First I will start on one quote or any one small simple sentence. For example, once there was a bird. I am starting like this. Once there was a bird. You imagine that bird. One by one you start telling your own sentence. Okay. At the end of your session, one student, if we are trying, that student can recall the total story if possible or not. We will check out who is ready to take the full story and who is telling the partial story and some not able to recall, isn't it? We can check our short-term memory now, and in the future classes we relate with the story, we can check our long-term memory too. Okay, now I will pass the session to the students. We are going to start our activity starting with Nandini, then Kavya, then Swati, then Shivashruti, then Ahana, then Manohmani, and we will end up with Sonia. Okay, now Nandini will start.
Once there was a bird who lived in a big green tree. It has bright yellow feathers and a sweet chirping voice. With the voice, every morning the bird sang a beautiful song that makes other animals happy in the forest.
One day, she saw a dark cloud in the sky. The wind blew hard. A storm was coming. So she quickly flew around, warning her animal friends. The friends are squirrel, the butterfly, the rabbit. They find a safe place.
Okay. The storm came with louder thunder and heavy rain. The little bird stayed in her nest and held on tightly. Her little wings were shook, but she stayed to play.
After some time, the sun came out again. A sky turned into blue and a rainbow appeared. A bird flew onto the nest and sang a joyful song and sang a joyful song, and all animals out of their place and smiled at the bird.
And from that day onwards, the bird became very brave and it started to sing in a very sweet voice.
Okay, why we are doing this activity? To check our memory, isn't it? Memory just storing the information. How we are storing the information? We are gathering the information first and we are just storing the information. And how we can retrieve? You can understand the concept, after that only you can retrieve. If you are not understanding the concept, you are not able to retrieve. Now this is a simple story. I will start with the story. Once there was a bird. Based on your capacity, based on your creativity, you started created a small story. How many of you can able to recall the full story? Can you try? Can you give a small try, Nandini?
Yes.
You can try. Comes to check the short-term memory. Okay, this is not fixed in your mind. What you observe now, going to recall now. Okay, you can start with the story.
Once there was a bird and it was small and has a sweet chirping voice. It lived in a great big tree and it has very bright yellow feathers. Every morning it sang a beautiful song. One day the bird saw dark clouds in the sky. Suddenly she knew a thunderbolt will be coming. So she sang and tried to warn her friends. Her friends were squirrel, rabbit, butterflies all there. They all found a safer place and moved there. Then after during thunderbolt, the bird was shook, but she stood brave in her nest. After some time, after the clouds passing, the sun came and the sky turned blue, and she again sing a beautiful song by looking at her friends, and they smiled at her.
Very good. It's correct, isn't it? Recalled correctly, but the cognitive, we can check the cognitive ability, isn't it? How much thinking is, how much understanding is, how much knowledgeable is, she can able to recall. Now we will see about the moral of the story. Now Sonia, come forward and tell the moral of the story. It's a word, isn't it? So you concluded one small story and then the moral is going to be given by Sonia. Come.
So as a conclusion, the moral of the story which we have discussed is, we should always be brave and kind enough to help others, and as well as it is not about not the size to show or whether to be brave or not. Even the small ones can be brave enough and help others.
Thank you.
Thank you.